Hello there, and welcome to another episode of. We are going to go over a new book series that I have been reading and have been enjoying. It's really fun and interesting, and there's a couple books already out that I have enjoyed, and it is called Star Wars: The High Republic. For those of you that don't know, Star Wars: The High Republic came out, I want to say either last year or 2020, and has been very intriguing and coming out with a bunch of different phases and books from little kids to young adults to even adult novels. And it's been a pretty fun read. I am currently on book 3, um, but I didn't realize that there were already so many books out when starting to read them. Because what ended up happening is I was at a Barnes and Noble and saw the books, and I just picked up the first one I saw, and that ended up being book number 2. And so I read all of book number 2, enjoyed it, and I went online to Amazon and bought books number 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And so I have been reading those in my free time, along with a couple of other comic books and whatnot. But it's been really interesting because the High Republic takes place a few hundred years before Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. And so that gives you a whole new world and galaxy of Star Wars like never before. And from what I could gather is like this is the height of the Jedi, like the Jedi at their full power and their prime. And they're truly the guardians of peace and justice, like the comics, TV shows, and movies say. And they all have the common enemy in the Nile. And the Nile are kind of like gangsters or bounty hunters, from what I've gotten. Maybe that's not right, but whatnot. But that's what I'm kind of getting a feeling of, is they're kind of like gangsters. And Star Wars right now, there's no Sith War, there's no like actual bad guys yet. This takes place after all the Sith have been destroyed and whatnot. And so, really, the only thing going on is that there's this space station that was sabotaged by the Nile, and the Jedi are experiencing it in different wavelengths all across the galaxy. So, for the first book was all about how this spaceship was activated, and then the Nile tried taking it over, and they like sabotaged the celebration. Then book 2 followed a Jedi master and apprentice duo, and they're on the other side of the galaxy. They know that this space station is supposed to be operational, but um, they're not getting a hold of anybody. So it really concerns them and whatnot. And then in this third book right now, it focuses some Jedi from book 1, but not all of them. And they're trying to hunt down the bad guys. Is so far what's going on. But this is what book number 3 looks like: Star Wars: The High Republic Rising Storm, for Light and Life. And if I open it up, I'll give you guys a little preview of what it says. It says, following the dramatic events of Light of the Jedi, the heroes of the High Republic era return to face a shattered peace and a fearsome foe. So Light of the Jedi is the very first book. So the first book in the adult trilogy. It says, in the wake of the hyperspace disaster and the heroism of the Jedi, the Republic continues to grow, bringing more worlds together under a single unified banner. Under the leadership of Chancellor Lina Soh, the spirit of unity extends throughout the galaxy. With the Jedi and newly established Starlight Beacon Station at the vanguard, Starlight Beacon, that was the spaceship that was, or Star Station, space station that was attacked. In Celebration, the Chancellor, and the Chancellor's a lot like Chancellor Palpatine, since it's elected and whatnot, so that's pretty cool to see. The Chancellor plans the Republic Fair, a showcase of the possibilities and the peace of expanding Republic. A peace the Jedi hope to foster. Stellan Gios, Bel Zettifar, Elzar Mann, and others join the event as ambassadors of harmony. But as the events of the galaxy turn toward the fire, so does the fury of the Nihil, and the Nihil are the bad guys I was talking about. Their leader, Marchion Ro, is intent on destroying this unity. His storm descends the pageantries and celebration, sowing chaos and exacting revenge. As the Jedi struggle to curb the carnage of the rampaging Nihil, they come face to face with the true fear their enemy plans to unleash across the galaxy, the kind of fear from which the Force cannot shield them. So that's kind of like when you're reading or turning on a Star Wars movie, and you see the credits go up, and it kind of says Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Kind of like that. That's was in that same format, but just for the book. And so this trilogy has been really exciting to read, and I've really enjoyed it. I'm hoping that I can. Excuse me. I'm hoping that I can continue to read this after finals week, because school's about wrapping up and it's done next week. So I haven't had time to finish new uploads or go live as often, because I'm ready for finals, making sure I pass so that way I can move on to a 4-year college. But when I stopped reading, it was pretty interesting because of the Nihil were starting to plan their attack on the Jedi. So we'll see what happens after that. If you have heard of these, let me know which book's your favorite, which one's not. If you haven't read these before, I highly suggest you read them. As you can tell from my past videos and whatnot, like usually when you watch them, you can see those comic books right there, and then above the comic books actually is some graphic novels, some comic books, and regular books, and I have some Legends Star Wars books. And so it's interesting to compare and contrast those. But I really have been enjoying the High Republic series, and I think it's the best books that Disney has put out since owning Star Wars. And if you go online, whether that's to Reddit or Lucasfilm.com or whatever, I'm pretty sure that the reviews are necessary, and they'll agree with me, saying that they're pretty good books, and I highly suggest picking them up. And I know that they're coming out in phases, and I believe that phase 1 recently ended either the beginning of this year or late into last year. They're starting to get into phase 2, but I'm not sure how far I'll be going into these books. I just picked them up because I had an Amazon gift card. And so the gift card was able to buy all 6 or all 9 of those books that I needed to. In that whole phase 1, I got all phase 1 books, and there were 9 of them. And so I'm reading those. If I enjoy what I like from phase 1 and kind of different stories that I get, maybe I go into phase 2. But what I have noticed is that I enjoy the stories more of the young adult novels more than the actual adult novels themselves. The Light of the Jedi and Rising Storm are part of that adult trilogy, to whereas the book I was talking about earlier is definitely in the Star Wars High Republic Into Darkness is the first book in the young adult trilogy, and I enjoyed that book a lot more than these ones. So it's interesting to compare and contrast, see different authors bring different stories into Star Wars. But yeah, that's all I wanted to share today for Tuesday Night Live. I'll be back next week. Hopefully, because that is finals week, so I will have to study and prepare for classes. Whew. But I should be back on, and then the following weekend, so in 2 weeks, it'll be the first summer vacation. So I'm hoping to pump out some more content, maybe a video every other week or something good. So stay patient. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time on Boxes of Comics. Have a great night, and yeah.